Hello everyone, this is Arafellin playing Jetpack. I'm hesitant to call it a true puzzle platformer, but it's kind of a puzzle-ish platformer. I think you'll see what I mean when it gets started. We'll just start a game. So you start with your little guy here. He has a jetpack. You have this nice special effect that makes it fairly clear where he starts. You don't have to go hunting around the screen to find him. You have two buttons for your main control. The Alt key by default is jump, or if you have fuel, which I just picked up some, you can use your jetpack, which lets you fly. The jetpack works on a momentum system. For instance, if you are falling... well, that was not smart. Okay, one thing is there are enemies, such as that robot. The robot tries to home in on you as well as it can. It is limited to ground and ladders, so there are times when it can't find a good route to you. But if any enemy touches you, you die, you lose a life, you have to restart the level. Different types of terrain have different effects, like this mossy looking stuff makes you walk slower. The icy looking stuff above and to the right, you can't stop while you're on it, you just move full speed ahead. The conveyor belt looking things above do what you'd expect conveyor belts to do. They push you in the direction of the belt's movement. So if I'm just standing here not pressing anything, my little guy automatically moves. If you try to go against them, you move slower. If you try to move with them, they move faster. The other key you get is the control button. Oops, forgot they could jump off edges like that. The control button initiates... I think it's supposed to be like a matter phasing beam. So what this does is you can try to phase through various kinds of blocks. The solid concrete like this you can't do anything to, but the bricks like these, after a delay they turn intangible, and then after another delay they come back into solidity. If you are inside a brick like that, when it becomes solid, that kills you. If you manage to get an enemy inside one of it when it becomes solid, the enemy is trapped. However, this does not eliminate the enemy, and it does not make it harmless either. So if it's sticking partway out and you touch it, that still kills you. The object of each stage is to collect all the gems and make your way to the exit, which will open once you have all the gems. So I'll just come up here, finish the stage, and move on to the next one. This next stage introduces teleporters. The way teleporters work is there are usually two. If you press down when you're on a teleporter, you move to another teleporter of the same color. Enemies can also use teleporters, as I just accidentally demonstrated there. The robot enemy, as I mentioned, will try to seek you out. This giant marble thing will just roll forward mindlessly. They're normally, in actual stages like this, set up so that there is some kind of teleporter that will take it back to its beginning point so it continues to be a threat. Either that, or they'll be in a thing where they just roll back and forth constantly. Oh yeah, your matter phasing beam thing will let you travel through bricks like this. You can get down to these bonus items. Those give you points. Enough points will give you an extra life. Also, these idle-looking things will give you an extra life instantly. Can I make it out in time? Nope. Oh yeah, the game continues in basically the same game. What makes it interesting is that the level design keeps changing from level to level. They introduce different tricks and traps, different kinds of enemies, and I'd say overall the level design is pretty good. It does a good job of having variety, changing things up, keeping things interesting. The other thing that gives this game a lot of replay value is there is a built-in level editor. So level editor, let's see if I remember the keys. Okay, F1 to help. Okay. So you press D for door to place the door. You can press S for start to place where your character starts. You can press the number keys to place various enemies. There's enemy 8, 7, 6. That's good for now. If you press enter, it will give you a list of tiles that are available to you. So you have ladders that don't move, ladders that move up and down, gems, teleporters. These are switches. You can use those to toggle the state of these corresponding colored blocks, which come in horizontal and vertical varieties. That has no gameplay effect, but for aesthetics, if you want a long bar, it makes sense to place a bunch of the horizontal ones rather than a bunch of the vertical ones. You have some fancy block types. These are just different graphics for the same thing in many cases. These two are the same as solid concrete. There are different varieties of the concrete and bricks with edges rounded to make things look nice. You can have your bricks with concrete coating, which makes it so you cannot phase through them from that direction. You get your moss and ice and conveyor belts here. Spikes are death traps, of course. Jetpack fuel. These swirly things are time stop that will temporarily make enemies stopped, and I think it also makes them harmless even if you run into them. So I'll place a few of these to test that out. These things, these will drain your jetpack fuel. These will regenerate it as long as you're in the tiles. You have some things that are just decoration, like these fences and columns, the black background, the mossy foreground. These with the green squares on them are fake blocks. They look like actual blocks, but they're completely non-solid. You'll pass right through them. These pink things you can phase through very quickly. They're basically they act like doorways. These wooden crate-looking things, you can phase through those instantly also. However, they do not come back when destroyed, unlike everything else. Okay. I'll just put a nice looking little concrete thing under those. Place some bonus items for fun. And you can press S2 to test. So the guy there. Yep, like I mentioned, these phase instantly, come back very quickly. When you're in the fuel regenerating things, you regenerate fuel quickly. When you're in the draining things, it drains fairly quickly. You can jetpack up here, grab these. Yeah, you can phase through these instantly, and they don't come back. Different enemy types have different behaviors. The bat-looking thing, I think, kind of tries to track you. The weird fuzzy blue thing seems to move random. Okay, there's a time stop. Yes, power-ups will also appear at random as time passes. Okay, time-stopped enemies are harmless. The little mine-looking thing that's by the blue box now, that will home in on you from anywhere. And I believe it can also go through walls. Yes. Now, when you're out of fuel, you can jump. So, that generally keeps you from getting completely stuck. But there are some levels where you do need your fuel. And you have to be careful of that. But yeah, this has been Era Felon, playing Jetpack, playing around a little bit in the level editor. Come back next time for something that's less platformer and more puzzle.